Hello everybody and welcome to SEDA College Online. I'm Emma. Welcome back to all of you who have been following every day. There's a helicopter going outside, so I hope you can hear me okay. So today guys, just before we start, just if you've any questions or anything, please don't be afraid to ask. Just write your comment down below. And if you've anything that you want to ask, or any questions as we go through the lesson today, please feel free to ask. Okay, so today we're going to be doing defining relative clauses. Okay, housework, make or do. So they are our objectives for today's lesson. Okay, so let's start off. So defining relative clauses, the form. Okay, so he is the man who, that, or we can use that either, invented the World Wide Web. Okay, so he is the man who. The next one, this is the book which, or you can use that, I told you about. And that is the place where we can buy our companies. Okay, so that's the form of using defining relative clauses. Okay, so we're using who, which, where. Okay. So let's find out when we use, or why we use these and what for. Okay, so the use who we use for people, okay, which we use for things, and where for places. Okay, so who for people, which for things, and where for places. Okay, let's move on. So the person who discovered the solution was from Japan. Okay, again, I'm just giving you some more here. The factory which makes the machine employs 200 people. Okay, and the organization where she works is called High Tech. So using these again, the person who, the factory which, and the organization where. Okay, so just giving you some more examples there using who, which, where. Okay. Let's move on. Now, just so you know, in the first examples I gave you, I used that as well. Okay, so we can use that as well as who or which. So we use that for people or things instead of who or which. Okay, so just so you know, it's less formal to use that. Okay, using who or which is more formal. So just keep that in mind, just in case you want to know, well, why do I use that? Why is it there? Well, it's there because it's less formal, and that's the reasoning for that. Okay, the person that discovered the solution was from Japan. Again, the person that, we can use that instead of who. The factory that makes the machines employs 200 people. The factory that. Okay, so instead in this situation here, the person who, we can use that. The factory which, we can use that. Okay, so just giving you some more information on that. Any questions so far? Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Okay, so we're going to do some practice. And again guys, please just write down the number and then write down the correct pronoun. Okay, so remember, it's no problem to use that instead of using who or which. Okay, just remember, you don't use that instead of where. If it's a place, you have to use where. Okay, so let's look at there are 8 sentences here, and I want you to choose the correct pronoun, and you can use either one, or if you want, you can put in that or which, that or who. That's up to you. Okay, but in this case, I just want you to use one pronoun, and it's your choice as to what you want to use. Okay, so we have, that's the policeman. Okay, so again, I want you to choose the correct pronoun for each one of these. Okay guys, so please write down the number and then write down the correct pronoun for each one. That's the policeman gave me a ticket for speeding. So which pronoun would I use after policeman? Okay. Then number 2. What's the name of the film? I nearly said it there. We watched last night. Again, use the correct pronoun. Can I use that? Can I not? It's up to you. Number 3. The stadium we usually play is being renovated. Okay, so the stadium, is that a place, is it a thing, or is it a person? I don't think so. Okay, so the advice, sorry, forgot one there. Number 4, that's the farm. They are experimenting with new crops. Crops are like vegetables, potatoes, all things like that. Okay, corn would be crops as well. Okay, so that's the farm. Again, look at the word farm. Is that a place? Is it a thing or a person? Okay. Next one, number 5. The advice Sam gave me was senseless. Senseless just means it was no good. Okay, it was no good. So the advice, am I using is that a place, is it a thing or a person? Okay, you choose the correct pronoun here, guys. Relative pronoun. Number 6, garlic is the kind of food keeps the vampires away. That's true, yeah. So garlic is a kind of food. Number 7, a waiter is a person worked in a restaurant. So person, that's a good giveaway there. Number 8, can you give me back the money I lent you last week? Again, using the correct pronoun. So write the number and then the pronoun. Okay, so just go through them. So we're going to move on to the answers. Okay, don't panic. If you don't have it finished, don't worry. Okay, if you have a few of them done, we'll go with that. Okay, so just remember you're writing number and then the answer. So let's have a look here. Okay, so answers. That's the policeman who or that gave me a ticket for speeding. So for policeman you can use who or that. Okay, so you're giving the information. Okay, I mean, you could also say that's the policeman. That policeman gave me a ticket for speeding. But yeah, you're giving me more information. What's the name of the film that we watched last night? So you can use which or that. Whichever one you wrote down, don't worry. They're both correct. Same with number 1. Who or that? They're both correct. Number 3. The stadium where we usually play is being renovated. So the stadium is a place. Okay, the stadium. You're talking about the place. Okay. That's the farm. Again, place where they're experimenting with new crops. Number 5. The advice which that Sam gave me was senseless. Okay, so which or that. Garlic is a kind of food, which or that keeps the vampires away. You can use which or that. Number 7, a waiter is a person who or that works in a restaurant. Okay, so again, you're relating to the waiter, the person. And that was an easy one because I've told you it's a person. Number 8, can you give me back the money that I lent you last month? So you're asking the person to give you back the money because you lent. Okay, so they borrowed from you, but you lent to them. Okay, so you're asking for the money back. So that's the correct answers. So number 1 to number 8. So does anybody have any questions so far? Please leave comments if you have any questions. We're going to move on to housework. And I'm sure you all love doing housework, okay? Housework is something that just has to be done, okay? It's important we do it. So maybe some of you are working as au pairs. Is anybody there working as au pairs? Can you let me know if you are? Anybody working as an au pair would know all of these, okay? So, first one, mowing the lawn. Okay, so that's a housework. Now, I don't know if au pairs mow the lawn, but this is part of doing housework, okay? So mowing the lawn. The next one is feeding the cat or feeding the dog or whatever pet you have. You can use feeding any pet, okay? But that's the activity, feeding the cat. Then the next one, doing the laundry, okay? What's this woman's very happy, as you can see in the picture, doing the laundry. So doing the laundry, what does this entail? This means that you wash the clothes, you dry the clothes, you put the clothes out, you put the clothes away. So, I mean, there's a lot to do when you're doing the laundry, but the whole activity is doing the laundry, okay? Then the second last one, washing the dishes, okay? Again, washing the dishes. I'm very lucky because we have a dishwasher, and I think it's the best invention ever. But you can't put big pots in dishwashers. Maybe some of you do, but is there any of you out there who don't? Is there any of you that doesn't have a dishwasher? Just let me know. And if you have to do the dishes every day, I would say, do you like washing the dishes or do you like drying the dishes? Me personally, I would like drying the pots. I get my husband to wash the dishes, the big pots. So the next one then is, this is part of doing the laundry, hanging the washing on the line. So that's the line, okay? And this is hanging the washing on the line. Let's move on. So some more pictures here. The next one is sweeping the floor. Okay, so this is part of doing the housework as well, sweeping the floor. And then the next one is taking out the bin. So if you live in a flat or anything like that, you have to take out the bin for the bin men to come and take them. Then the next one is cleaning the windows. Okay, so fascinating job as well. Then the next one is ironing. Okay, so maybe like some of you work, is there any of you that work in a job where you have to do lots of ironing, and maybe you have to iron your shirts, your I don't know, your trousers, things like that. So the activity is ironing. Okay, the next one is watering the plants. Okay, do you see all the plants in the picture? These are called plants. Okay. So we put flower, and you have flowers there as well, but all of them they're all called plants in this picture. Maybe you have these in your house. Some more. The next one, scrubbing the floor. A lovely job, I have to say. So scrubbing the floor. The next one is mopping the floor. Okay, so you mop the floor. So you use a mop to mop the floor. Okay. The next one is hoovering the carpet. Okay, so you hoover the carpet. So hoovering the carpet here. Look at the next picture. I'm sure if you have children, do any of you have any children? Making a mess. I'm sure it's a big, big thing that happens in your house, making a mess. So the children love to make a mess. Okay, so. And then the last one is making the bed. Okay, so the couple there are making the bed. I always think making the bed is a two-person job. Okay, especially if it's a double bed. It's definitely difficult to make by yourself. So if you have somebody, your boyfriend, girlfriend, get them to make the bed with you. It's very important. Okay, so now it's time for a little bit of practice for your memory. How's your memory today? I want you to look at the pictures. And I want you to choose the correct chore, okay? So each one of these. So from your memory, look at the first picture. What you doing in the first picture? Look at the next picture. Remember when I said if you have children, they love to do this. And the mother is just, yeah, she's not happy. Then the next picture. This is what you do outside your house, okay? Definitely don't do this inside your house. The next picture. Yeah, this is something we do after we eat. Okay. The man in the next picture then, what's he doing to the floor? And then the woman, what's she doing? Okay, she has water. Okay, so what's she doing and to what? Okay. So let's give it another minute to think about that. So just go through them. If you can't remember the spelling, don't worry too much. But it is something that is important, okay? So definitely. Okay, so I'm going to move on. And here are the answers, okay? So, first one, scrubbing the floor, okay? Next one, making a mess, mowing the lawn, washing the dishes, sweeping the floor, and watering the plants. So this is, these are all the chores. How did you get on? Did anybody get 6 out of 6? Make a comment if you got 6 out of 6. I want to know. Or how did you get on? Okay, so that's the housework. That's the chores we do. Is there any other chores in the house that I have not mentioned? Okay, maybe something you do in the house. And for all you people, it doesn't have to be au pairs. These are all things for everybody to do, okay? Even if If we have our own house, if we live in a flat, if we live with other people, we still have to do probably most of these we have to do. Okay, so is there any chore that I haven't said? Let me know. Write it down. Now, make or do. So make or do, one of those two confusing verbs in English. Okay, so we're going to look at a few examples using make or do. Okay, so let's start off with make. Okay, so you make a choice, you make an effort, you make friends. Okay, so you make friends every day or whatever you do, however you do it. Okay, you make an apology. Okay, so that's to say sorry. You make a speech, especially if you're a politician. You make a speech. You make trouble. Okay, so, and you make a mistake. Okay, next one is do. So you do business, you do homework, you do housework, you do shopping, you do washing up, you do exercise, and you do crosswords. Okay, so just a few examples here for you. Okay, just a few examples. Okay, so let's look, and I want you to do some practice using these. Okay, so look at these sentences, and again, just write down the answer. You don't need to write the full sentence. As I keep saying, you will get this handout. Okay, so you can look at it after. So fill in the gaps with either do or make in the correct form. Okay, now I do say in the correct form, so remember, if it's in the present, you do it in the present. If it's in the present continuous, you do it in the present continuous. If it's in the past, you do it in the past. Okay, unfortunately with verbs like these, they won't always be in the present, because if we're talking in the past, the future, anything, we have to change. Okay, so let's look at the first one. The house is a disaster, they a terrible mess. Okay, so which one do we use for mess? And look at the tense. Which tense do we use here? Okay, number 2, I can, the washing up because you made lunch. Okay, so again, which one do I use with washing up? And yeah, which tense? Number 3, she crossword puzzles every day. So which tense do I use for every day? I remember she. Okay, don't forget she. Right, you need to change the verb here because it's she. Number 4, before you go play football, you have to your homework. Okay, so what do I do with homework? Do I make homework or do I do homework? Number 5, we usually shopping on Saturday morning. So what do I do with shopping? Do I make shopping or do I do the shopping? Number 6, I a terrible mistake in my driving test. Do I do a mistake or do I make a mistake? And is this in the present or is it in the past? Okay, so I'll just give you another couple of seconds. Okay, so just think about it and only write down the answer. Okay, you only need to write down the answer for this. Take your time and just remember to change the tense if you need to. Okay, now let's look at the answers. So the house is a disaster, they are making a terrible mess. Okay, so it's a continuous action. They are making a terrible mess. Okay, they are making a terrible mess. Number 2, I can do the washing up because you made lunch. I can do. It's okay because it's in the present. Number 3, she does crossword puzzles every day. She does. Okay, not she do, she does. Number 4, before you go play football, you have to do your homework. Okay, and again, it's in the present, so you do your homework. Do your homework. Number 5, we usually do shopping on Saturday mornings. Okay, so you do shopping, guys, do shopping. Okay, and this is the present simple because we're using usually. It's something we do. It's a daily, well, it's not a daily activity, it's a weekly activity. Number 6, I made a really terrible mistake in my driving test. Okay, so I made driving test is finished. Okay, so that's why we're using made. The past of make is made. Okay, how did you get on with that, guys? Did you make any mistakes? Please let me know how you got on. Did anybody get 6 out of 6? Anybody get 1 out of 6? If you've made a lot of mistakes, please don't worry. Okay, just go back and look at the table and just go through some of the do and the make. Which ones go with them? Okay, and there's no particular rule really. Well, there could be. If I was to make a rule, I would say do we use maybe for activities, okay? And make, I don't know, you make cakes, you make decisions. It's more, I don't know, it's like it's an activity you make, okay? So think about make. It needs to be more creative as well, okay? Does anybody have any questions so far? Or any questions or comments? Please let me know. So guys, that's it. Join me again tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow we are doing present perfect or past simple, and we are doing shopping. Okay, so some shopping vocabulary. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, you can write a comment and I will reply to you as soon as possible. Okay, I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope the sun is shining, and I'll see you tomorrow. And again, thanks to all of you who are joining me every day. I can see people who are joining me every day, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. So thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye guys.